we're here today, man.
We're here to talk about something else that you
Let's lock
guys
in,
might
man.
find interesting.
We're just, that's a great cold open, as a matter of fact. Welcome to episode 217 of the Super Weapon Podcast, the most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy, Darius the Artist, and as always, I got my co-host, DC, here with me today.
Well, what up, though? You thought we were gone. Y'all thought we wasn't coming back, huh? Because we took 2 weeks off. Y'all thought, oh, another podcast bites the dust. Well, psych. We're back, bitches, and we're here to talk about some video games and
Happy New
all
Year.
that good jazz. Happy New Year's. Hope you're here with us in good spirits. Hope everybody's staying warm. Shout out to everyone who's here. God bless you. I hope all is going well. What are we jumping into today, Mr.
Yeah,
Darius?
hey, man, it's snowing in Georgia. I would be remiss if I did not mention that. Just like DC said, man, Happy New Year's to everybody. Welcome back. Glad to be back. We, took the last 2 holidays off just to kind of rest and reset and kind of get ready for this year, because something tells me, 2025 is going to be like a really big year for gaming. And I feel like all of the games that have been announced over the last couple of years have really just been biding their time, like with all the studio closures and consolidation and stuff. And, even if only half of the games that are supposed to come out this year come out, it's still going to be a great year, in my opinion, man. But before we get into like the main topic stuff, like we usually do a prediction episode every year, but I figured because CES happened, and there were some other things that we'll talk about later, that we kind of just do like one prediction each. And it could be something totally off the wall. I'm just really curious or I guess the question could be like, what do you really personally want to see happen this year? Or what's your big prediction for the year as far as gaming goes? Like if you have one.
Oh, for gaming prediction, big prediction for 20.
It could be something so outrageous. Yeah, it could be anything.
I could go with my favorite. I could do 2 because I want to go with my favorite because I want to stir up the masses. I'm setting up a little clip farming my goddamn self with this one here.
Okay, all right, I like it.
I'm opening all of me wallet. Okay, all of me wallet. To anyone who wants to bet me that Grand Theft Auto is coming out this year,
It
is not.
It is.
I repeat, biggest prediction for me, 2025. Grand Theft Auto 6 is not coming out this year. It is not coming out this year. And
I'm gonna say it is. I think
it's
so.
gonna be a piping hot piece of shit.
Ooh,
coming out this year.
I like the prediction. Okay.
That's my go-to. I've been yelling that all year. I don't even.
You've been a big defender of that, and I respect you for.
And I
standing
can't wait
10
till I'm
toes on
proven right.
But if it does, man, I'm curious to see if it does. I think that's definitely going to be the question on everyone's mind.
Oh, can I say something? And if it do come out this year, I'm not buying 16 different versions. I am waiting. I'm not that pressed to play it.
Yeah, see, I don't know, man.
I'm not buying 84 different versions. We on the ass end of this gaming cycle. You're not doing this to me again. No,
I keep going back and forth
versions.
on it.
I bought 5 versions of GTA 5.
Okay.
I'm not doing it again.
So, do you think you're going to wait for the PC version?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I am.
That's fair.
I am not that pressed to get that game. Like people, the market for that game as far as content is going to be oversaturated. Everybody's going to have their think pieces. YouTube's going to explode.
And that's going to be the moment. That game is going to be the literal fucking moment.
Make your content stand out if you're going to make GTA 5 content, please, because the competition is going to be steep.
Is it outrageous to say or think, right, that game is going to be the game that launches another wave of content creators? I don't think that's far-fetched to say, right?
Dude, the whole internet is going to be there's going to be
that much motion for the game, you know what I mean?
From the people who always claiming that stupid shit. It's going to be people who love it. It's going to be people who hate it. They're going to break it down, every Easter egg, every hidden thing, every it's going to flood the internet. It's literally going to not only take over like gaming content and
It's gonna
streaming.
take over
Like
media.
it's
I think,
literally,
yeah.
yeah, it's literally gonna be like a force of media that's gonna reach beyond gaming. Like everyone's gonna be talking about this. It's gonna be on the news because of sales. They already talking about it's breaking records for
We're talking about
how
GTA
much
6,
it's
Beezy.
just how much it's gonna cost just to make the game. They talking like 3 to 4 billion just to make the freaking game. I'm like,
I can see 1 to 2. I don't think it's gonna be 3 billion.
that's what I'm. But
ridiculous.
see, that's what I'm saying. You know, because people. This is why I love and I hate YouTube because people like they will come up with the most clickbaity titles. And even
Yeah.
when I was looking up information for the Nintendo Switch 2, like people were just these titles like, oh, I have my hands on a Switch 2. No, you don't, man. No,
I
you
will say
don't.
this: some people do. I have seen some videos that are
Bruh,
very
your
fucking
channel
convincing.
look. When I click on a channel and it got 2.2 viewers and no,
Okay, no, they're the smaller. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
you just trying to use the algorithm to get your numbers up, which is
But
heck, play the
I
game.
personally think that shit is out in the wild. I do, and I think that they know it, and there's nothing they can do about it at this point. But we'll talk about the Switch 2 later for sure.
Bro, keep talking about the mafia.
My prediction for the year is I think we will finally get a teaser trailer for Elder Scrolls 6. I think it's time. I think it has been what, 6
let
years?
Starfield go,
I
man.
think I just looked it up. I think it's been 6 years since we've seen anything from Elder Scrolls 6. And you know, Xbox I think is in a good place to drop a trailer for it in the summer or maybe at like the Game Awards later this year. But I think it's time for them to show like what that game's gonna be, even if it's just like I said, like a small teaser. No, I don't think it's gonna come out this year or next year. I mean, maybe next year. Who fucking knows, right? But I think it's time. I think we'll get a trailer for it, and it's gonna be one of the most watched trailers. I'm not saying it's like as popular as Grand Theft Auto, but I would put it close behind GTA in terms of popularity, just like Elder Scrolls in general. I mean, especially with Skyrim and how well that sold over the last decade plus. And I think Bethesda needs like some goodwill in the community. Like, of course, there's been rumors of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake and a couple other things that they may or may not have their hands in.
Don't waste your time.
But-
Don't waste your development time.
Well, I think it's like I think it's another studio partnering with them, making it in like Unreal 5. That's the rumor, but I think we get an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer. I think that's gonna be like their big trailer for the summer. I mean, I could totally be wrong, but I think it's time for them to see. I want to see what it is personally. That's my just shot in the dark. I don't know why I thought about Elder Scrolls this morning, but I was like, man, we really haven't seen shit about that game.
Because you're a
since-
Skyrim junkie.
I am a low key, yeah, and I need to go back and finish the game. Some point I need to, but I think it's time we get an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer, and maybe we'll start to hear rumors of the next Xbox.
Then we can forget about Starfield.
Yeah, I think they want to try to. I think eventually they're gonna want to try to move past Starfield. I don't know if they're still making DLC for it or not though. But
They made a DLC that kind of landed flat. Like,
yeah, it didn't really do numbers from what I heard. But I would imagine the rest of the studios now working on Elder Scrolls 6, and we should get a teaser
I'm still very disappointed by that.
by Starfield.
Just think about all the
Yeah.
big episodes we had surrounding a game that just kind of went.
Cyberpunk.
I was just about to say Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk hurt me bad, man. I still go back and think about the just the hype leading up to it and how excited I was for that game. That game, and I know it's doing good now. Yeah,
That game was
yeah.
a 6-year hype train.
But
boy.
yeah, that game hurt me bad, man. That one really hurt, which is why I think I'm so cautious about games now. But
Yeah, CD Projekt Red apologized to him. He's hurt.
I'm still excited for Witcher 4, but Cyberpunk really gonna stick with me for a while, man. I bought the art book and all that shit. Like I did so much.
Oh man, we had a whole.
We had it. Man. We had a couple episodes on it, man. Like,
oh man, we had a 3-part episode on that shit.
that shit was
man.
so sad, man. Like it just
Yeah, it
hurt
was
me, and it just fell flat. But I don't know, man. So we'll see. Like maybe GTA 6 gets pushed into next year. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be. I think it's still coming out this year. You're not changing my mind. I 100%
It's not
think.
coming out this year, man. Top of 2026, man. I'm telling y'all.
I think it's gonna happen, but we'll see.
They're gonna push it back by 4 or what? about 4 months.
Ah,
It's gonna get
20.
pushed back.
When did? Let's look at. I want to see what month.
It's gonna
GTA
get pushed
5.
back. Like, what's that game that just got pushed back again? Assassin's Creed.
They were smart to do that. That game was gonna get buried. And I'm glad.
Uh,
I'm glad they pushed it back. Oh, so GTA 5 launched in September of 2013. Really, it was September? I don't know why I thought it was October. That's weird. Okay. Yeah. So we hit. So, okay. So those are our prediction, man. I want you guys to let us know if you agree, disagree. You know, what are your predictions for the year? Some things you would like to see. It could be something so outrageous that you 99% may or may not happen. But, you know, like I said, I think this year is going to really be one of those years, man. One of them ones, as the kids say. You know what I mean? But let's jump into our main topics of the day, man. So we have our good old NVIDIA GeForce RTX 50 series have been finally announced. After rumors and fanfare, and here, I'll just play the video. This is Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA. By the way, that jacket's like $8,000. Yes, I looked it up. You know, Jensen doing pretty well for himself. NVIDIA's doing pretty well for themselves.
Put that swag on him. You feel me?
You know what I mean? With
We had to let y'all know what time it is.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not in the market for a new GPU. I'm not at all. But you know, me and DC always make this joke. I always tell them, you know, try to be on the bleeding edge of technology. And you know, I was actually pleasantly surprised by this announcement because I think the 40 series didn't really land too well with people, especially when you're talking about price point and, you know, price point from the 30 to 40 series. So they announced a family of cars that they typically do, and the prices are for the 5070 is $549, 5070 Ti $749, the 5080 is $999, and the 5090 is $1999. So they're about the same price minus the very top, the 5090, which, let's just be honest, a lot of people aren't, like, the average person is really not going to buy that car, right? But I think the price for the lower tier cars are pretty reasonable compared to, you know, market rate and everything. And I think the 5090 and the 5080 are launching at the end of January, and the 5070 cars are supposed to be shipping at a later date, like maybe like a month or two. The biggest thing with these cards, of course, is the AI rendering that really I think the industry itself is moving towards. I know I've seen a lot of people.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
We've talked about this here.
Yeah, and the conversation seemed like it's starting to make its, you know, rounds again, where people, for one reason or another, like, people really don't like AI, right? And I understand it to the point where you're talking about stealing images and when it comes to potentially people losing their jobs over certain things. But if I'm being completely honest, I think this is probably the best way forward when it comes to keeping costs reasonable for consumers while also finally getting what looks to be next gen graphics. You know, because we even talked about it with this generation. Like, you know, this didn't really seem like a huge jump from the PS4, Xbox One generation to the current one outside of like a few games. But I'm hoping, you know, that we finally start to move into what people really will start to consider next gen. And, you know, I'm pretty excited about these cards. Like I said, I'm not in the market for them. I usually wait. Like, I'm probably not going to get another graphics card until the 60 series come out, to be quite honest. I'm pretty happy with my 3090, but you know, how do you kind of feel about the announcement, man? Are you excited about it? You thinking about upgrading? Because I know you were talking about buying a computer last year, right? If I remember right. But
am I? Look here. First of all, let me tell you, when they do these before and after images, I always think the ugliest image look better. Is it just me?
It depends. Yeah, it depends on.
I always
what
feel like
showing.
the before image always looks better. Like look at this. Like, I'm like, okay, that looks standard. Looks a lot better than the other ones. But first of all, my stupid eyes can only see so much pretty. Like, I don't need. I don't need the brand, the newest of the new. But I mean, it all depends on when I start building my computer. You know, I'm gonna weigh my options and see.
Yeah.
You know, what's the best value for my buck? Like, you know, I'm not looking at the 5 series at all, to be honest with you. Like, I heard the announcements, and you know, the internet fodder and people just oh man, that's not worth it, or oh man, it's not really, I don't feel any type of way about it. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
when you're a person doing your thing, you just get what fits you. Like some people may be into it. Some people may be hype about it. Some people are just graphic hounds, they want the best of the best at all times.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I go, I'm going to see what I need when I need it. Probably going to be the 4. I'm probably going
The
to be
40
looking like
series would
at
be a
one
good
of the 4.
investment. Yeah, that'll probably be
Yeah,
good.
I'm probably gonna look at one of them. I don't need a 5. I just really don't. Like I don't at all. And man, that jacket is hard, man. I'm
I
not gonna
told you,
lie.
man. Jensen. Let me say something. Jensen always gonna keep a clean jacket on during these presentations, man.
Boy, that's the
Like,
top of the line Cobra skin.
I don't know how many alligators they killed to get that thing, but man, that
Nah,
is.
bruh.
It don't get too much cleaner than
That
that.
is
But
beluga whale skin.
probably
So, that
baby seals on the inside.
right, right. PETA is pissed. You know what I'm saying? Looking at that son bitch.
Oh,
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna play it by ear and see what I need, man. I
yeah.
salute to the people who getting those big cards, and those things are huge. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Have you
graphics
seen
graphics
somebody
cards
holding
are
those shits?
yeah. Uh-huh. They're
What kind of
about
computer case you're gonna need to put them
I
shits
think
in
they're
there?
just thinner slightly than the older cards, but they're like width wise, I think they're because even the one I have in my PC, like the 3090 is fucking huge. Like you've seen it. Like that thing is like it takes up a good bit of the PC. So you need like a pretty big case with good
Yeah.
airflow to
And see, that's one of the things that as I look to build another computer, those are the things that I'm thinking about. Because I'm like, well, what kind of case I'm gonna get, and how much this case is
Need
gonna
room to grow,
cost,
yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, BZ. Yeah, you always got to get a big case and a big desk. And Ivan, hey man, what's going on? It's good to see you, man. If you guys are listening to the podcast, we do record this live every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/DerrickStarArtist. But I want to talk about what Ivan mentioned too about their the frame rates. So, okay, and this is why I mentioned the AI stuff, right? So, I think because people, and I'm assuming you saw the Wukong frame rate video that people, it was like 4K max settings without the ray tracing or the AI I think it's called AI rasterization without that turned on. See, what the problem is, in my humble opinion, my very limited mind, the very little I know about all this, right, is that I think we're getting to a bottleneck when it comes to pure power on single GPU cards when it comes to rasterizing or rendering frames, right? But where AI comes in is that it guesses where things like lighting will go, where things like visual effects, how it'll kind of try to compensate for those things by predicting where those frames will generate in the next second, right? And I think that is where, like I said, I think that is going to be the future of gaming. You don't need fake frames, you need low input latency. And well, that's the thing, right? Like DLSS isn't necessarily I don't necessarily agree with that, BZ. I don't look at it like, quote unquote fake. Like AI generated frames, I don't think they're fake. I don't agree with that. And like I said, I think we're just getting to a point where if you want to keep the average consumer in mind, if they wanted to push things to the very tip where they could, then gaming wouldn't be affordable for anybody, in my opinion. And if this is what keeps the prices down for the average consumer, I'm fine with that. And you said you don't use DLSS at all on any of your you haven't used it at all. So let me ask you this: Do you play your games at 4K typically, or are you more like a 1440 guy? Because that's what I typically do. Like I have the ability, because I have a 3090, and I could play games at 4K 30 without many issues, especially like, depending on the type of game you're playing, of course. But typically I'll stick to like 1440 higher frames, max settings, and those things like that, right? If you're looking at 240 frames and it feels like you're playing 60, those frames are fake. I don't agree. I just don't. I don't agree, man.
No, let's get them in here.
You play at
Let's get a good
1440 clean
argument
and play at a
going.
higher frame. Yeah, same here. And I think especially with because they announced. Let me see if I can find the video. Nvidia Reflex 2. Because the only reason, like, I think people would have to worry about super high frame rates if they're playing like a first person shooter or, a competitive game, if you will. And this is where I think like AI does a pretty cool. It sounds pretty cool in theory, right? Like this, because I don't think this feature is actually going to launch until March for the 50 series cars, right? But this is supposed to decrease input latency down to like the millisecond for most people. And let's just be quite honest, right? Like the average person, right? And this is where like I always try to center my arguments on, not on the people like us, the hardcore gamers who usually buy top of the line PCs or I try to think like from the average person's point of view. They won't really notice those things, or they won't know what to look for in terms of situations like that. And if this keeps those cards from being $2,000 to $3,000, because Nvidia did announce a mini supercomputer that you could buy for about $3,000 to run AI, LLMs, language learning models. For those who don't know, you can essentially buy a small desktop computer that is your own personal supercomputer, which is fucking insane. But
I might have found my new buy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know if you can play games on it. Don't quote me on that, but I think AI will help kind of compensate with those types of things, because we could sit here and say, okay, well, we don't want developers to depend on DLSS or FSR or PSSR for PlayStation's version of that. But at that point, once again, you're talking about raising the price of consoles at that point, because then you have to put premium parts in it to be able to rasterize millions and billions and billions of polygons at one time, right? Especially in games like I said, Finals, Valorant, those type of games. Where does the buck stop eventually, right? Like as technology continues to get better, there has to be some concessions on the
pay more.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay a premium price for that, and not everybody's gonna want to do that, right?
And that's always
so that's just where I kind of sit with it. Like I see the points that you're making, and I agree somewhat, but when it comes to the sad part is these companies have to make money, just like Ingredia. That's actually pretty funny. I like that. I saw that you put in that chat earlier, but I just think we have to find a good middle ground. And I don't know, honestly, like I've never been personally a big fan of 4K gaming and how the industry marketed it to be something that was supposed to be the next step after 1080p and all this other. Like I've never been that proponent or that person to push that or say, oh well, these things need to be 4K. If it's not 4K, it sucks, or that old chestnut. But I think AI will hopefully make a good middle ground when it comes to that, and maybe at some point we'll start to see the next evolution. I mean, because Nvidia announced some new cars as well that I didn't bring that up, but they did announce, I think the 9000 series, I think. And I'm curious to see what the technology from those cards is going to do for the next generation of gaming consoles. That's what I'm curious about. And I agree. Yeah, console gaming is tough right now. A lot of games don't run great on it. And I mean, you look at what PlayStation's trying to do. They're trying to compensate with PSSR on the PlayStation Pro, right? The PlayStation 5 Pro. And I just don't, me personally, like I don't see a point in buying a console right now outside of if the game's exclusive to that console. That's the only reason I would purchase a console nowadays. And I think Xbox and Sony know that, and they're probably running into an issue, and they're afraid, or they're worried about it. Let me say, because you can look up the numbers too if you guys are interested. Like every generation of consoles, the sales, like the total sales for those consoles, gets less and less every generation, and it's been like that for a while. Like less people are buying consoles every generation because of shit like this. So it's tough. It's super tough. I'm curious to see how these cars kind of perform once people get their hands on them. We can sit here and talk about numbers all day, percentages and all that good stuff, but I'm more curious about the technology versus just like the raw power output of these cars, which is why I kind of wanted to talk about it, because I like that we all have differing opinions on this stuff. It's actually pretty interesting, right? So
Yeah, BZ.
They
Strike.
gotta do better because there's no way I can play on a PC. Yeah, see, people like my wife, right? She enjoys console gaming. We've been playing It Takes Two on my old Xbox One, and we've been having a great time. I mean, the game runs pretty good. I haven't seen any issues with it, but
I think Xbox it will.
yeah,
I think Xbox definitely. Xbox already cooking up on working away from consoles.
they are, and that's something that they've been working on, especially with their streaming tech, right? Tori asked, do you think we're going to move away completely from consoles eventually? I think let me say this. I think the way that we think about console gaming is going to change over the next 10 years. Like I think there's going to always be a piece of hardware that you can hook up to your TV to play games, but I don't think it's far fetched to say like traditional consoles could be on their way out. I don't think that's a because I mean think about it, right? PS5 Pro just came out, $700 floor on that, right? That's the cheapest you can buy one of those, top of the line console. What do you think the next price is going to be for next gen? The floor is going to be, if it's under 700, I'd be surprised. I think
1,300.
I think the floor is going to be $700 and up, personally.
And people are going to complain, and they're still going to buy it.
Yeah, but I would, like I said, console sales just keep getting less and less every generation. Less people are going to buy them. I mean, I remember when the PS5 came out, people were complaining. It's like, why do I need to buy this? There's no games to play on it. The games that come out were cross-gen, right? And you can't do like how it used to be when we were growing up, where a new console would come out and developers would just completely leave the old hardware behind. That was a thing that started recently. That started kind of really between the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 and 4 generation. Because before that, you couldn't play an Xbox One game on a 360. You couldn't put that disc in and it would work. Not really. That was a very rare thing. And they did that because people weren't ready to move on to the next console, so they had to make things cross-gen.
Indeed.
A lot of people forget about stuff, so it's interesting, right? Like, I love talking about this stuff. It's all interesting to me. You know, like I said, I primarily play, and I think a lot of us in here, or at least like a lot of the people that watch the stream, primarily play on PC. You know, there's very few people that I know of that still play on console. You know, time to go full dive like Sword Art Online. Yeah, we're about 50 years away from that. I mean, we're gonna be old men before that happens. Before you can put on a helmet and it's like super virtual, that'd be cool.
Oh, did you see?
I'd be excited for that.
Well, at the what is it? CES 2025. Did you see the whole virtual suit that they had that you could put on now?
That was pretty cool. That was actually really cool.
It even makes it feel like you're eating and drinking water. I was like, what the?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was on my list to talk about, but so I'm going to save it.
Yeah, and it's just like BZ said, too. As console gets more expensive, the difference between a console and a PC is like $200 to $300. Yeah, most low-end PCs, yeah. You could buy one for like
this is my
$1,000,
thing,
$1,200
right?
nowadays.
This is like, it's interesting because it's like, what are we going to do? Do people just man the hell up and, hey, you just got to pony out that money? Because what people don't understand is,
yeah, you're right.
It's harder and harder, and it gets harder and harder and harder to develop these games. It costs more.
Mm-hmm.
Like as tech goes up, it costs more to create some of your favorite games, and this is kind of part of the reason why I feel like Nintendo wins. Right?
They find the right sweet spot. You're right. Mm-hmm.
There's a low point of entry for their games when you talk about like as far as like developing games for the Switch and stuff. Let's be honest, like, you know, they're not, I don't want to say they're not bleeding edge, but like they have like the lighter graphics. Like it's not heavily graphic.
It's not like
powered.
it's not like photorealistic stuff. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You got your great lineup of games, which, you know, graphic wise is not gonna be like a Cyberpunk or something, because you got like the Marios, the Donkey Kongs, Zeldas, the Star Foxes, and all that. And I feel like Nintendo has put themselves in a niche situation to where they can still win when it comes to the prize points of these consoles and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of weird. Like, I'm with you on this. Like, to watch it play out and to see what's going to happen in the next 5 years.
It's
'Cause
going to be
people are
so
gonna be-
interesting, man. I
Oh,
can't
the next
wait.
gen console. Hey, look, y'all might as well start saving up now. Like, I'm just telling you, because my personal opinion, I think it's going to be in thousands. I think it's going to be thousands.
Honestly, if we're being real, like, and I know a lot of people clown on the Series S for various reasons, and I think Microsoft was incredibly smart by making a multi-tiered console family of consoles, because then that gives the consumer the power of choice. You know, because they're gonna do it again. Like, they're not gonna choose one generation to do that and then just create one console for the next generation. Like, we're gonna get another family of devices. You know, they've already confirmed essentially that they are working on a handheld device, and I think we'll get another. I think we'll probably get another 2 Xboxes for next generation. One that'll probably be as powerful as the Series X, and then whatever above that, right? Like premium, just like you said, probably $1,000 box. I could see that happening. Now, I mean, you look at PlayStation, right? What are they gonna do? You know, they are they gonna stick to the traditional model that they have been, because they've been outselling Xbox. I think right now, like, I think it's two and a half PlayStations to 1 Xbox get sold or something like that. But how long is that gonna work for them? I mean,
And also their games been selling, but they haven't been hitting the mark. So
nope. Which is why they've been
there's
moving
that.
to PC.
Oh, Spider-Man. Hey, Spider-Man did amazing. Oh my God, it sold so many copies. And
It
then the numbers
underperforms.
come out
Yeah.
and they like, well, it's still underperformed.
According to those leaks, it underperformed.
Y'all know why it underperformed? Because how much money it costs to make it.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a great game, but if it's not at a price point to where it's conducive to them to win, then they're still going to fall short. So once again, we're back at the point of it's going to be like, basically, like, gamers, we're just spoiled, entitled brats, and something's going to have to give in.
Yeah. I don't know what the future holds. I mean, I really, like I said, I feel like traditional consoles are going to disappear at some point within the next 2, maybe 3 generations. So let's say over the next like 15 to 20 years, I think we could see a change in what people view a traditional console to be. Now, I mean, because you, like I said, you think about the average consumer. I think the next big war for people's money is going to be the handheld market and the resurgence of that. I mean, you have
they did have a lot of consoles to show this week.
They did. You know, you had that. What was it? The Legion Go that just came out, which is fully supported, I think, by Windows and Steam. You got the Steam Deck,
and they coming out with 2 different versions, right?
Exactly, to give you
one
choice.
Is specifically for Windows, and then they said a month after that, the Steam version is going to come out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Ivan brings up another good point. I think the next console generation is going to be all digital. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all, actually. You know, that's something that they've been moving towards. I mean, let me ask you guys a question. When's the last time you've been to like a Walmart or a Best Buy or even a Target, right? And you go over to the electronics section, you don't really see a lot of DVDs much anymore. It's maybe like one aisle, maybe half an aisle. At least the ones that I stay around.
Damn.
It's sad. Yeah, I mean, when you think of it.
So proud to be an American. Oh.
You know, it's just the way things are going, man. And I wish that if we were going to all digital, it would decrease the prices of, you know, the cost of games, because that was a contention point some years ago, but that's not true. I mean, because clearly game prices just keep going up every generation. Or, I mean, I could see another increase the next generation. I wouldn't be surprised if games go to $80 a pop. Like, they're just,
and boy, they're gonna scream.
People are gonna be mad, but they're gonna still buy the games, just like DC said. Like, I fully do believe, and I want you guys to understand. I fully do believe if Rockstar today told us that GTA 6 was gonna be $100, I don't think that would affect the sales of that game at all. Certain games,
they're probably going to tell us that.
You know what I mean? Like, certain games just have that ability to capture the market. that all it takes is one person to do it. So all it takes is one company to do it, and everybody else gonna follow suit, 100%. So it's
And as
interesting.
much as it costs to make GTA, that's another valid point.
Hmm.
That shit is going to be like $80, $90.
I would
You
be
are.
shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if they were like, "Hey,
And
by the
as much
way,
hype around it, they know people going to buy it anyway.
they know you're gonna buy it, 100%." There's no way. And then people are, people are gonna lose their fucking minds. See, my wife, and she said she counted the other day. There's 5 rows, and each row had 8 games. And out of all those spaces, there are maybe 10 games available. Discs are just old. Yeah, they're cassette tapes of the world. They are.
Oh, let me tell you something.
She's right.
Let's just point. We need to point out this. Like, I'm not gonna let this slide. You are very strange. You was in that store counting.
I mean, it's just,
You just went in there.
Whenever we do go in, like, we'll typically pass by the electronics. You know, we might look at some TVs or something. But like, if you ever just go in, just next time, just look. It's crazy how small those sections they keep getting smaller every year. They do. And I mean, at this point, why do you even keep the shit locked up? Just honestly.
See, look at this. Look at this screen where it's saying frames per second. Like, maybe I just got ugly eyes, but I'll be like,
Here,
I
I'll
think
tell
the
you. I'll tell
ugliest
you.
shit
Here, we'll
look
go
the
back.
prettiest.
We'll go back. I'll tell you where to look.
I just think ugly stuff looks
Let me
pretty.
find this here. Right.
You're
so this
beautiful.
picture.
You're beautiful.
So when it comes to stuff like this, you want to look around edges, right? So you want to look around the edges of structures of these cups. And I wish I could zoom in, or maybe I can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because boy, I can't see shit.
I don't know how to
what
zoom
you
in on
talking
video.
about.
Hold on.
It should be Control Plus.
I think it's Control Plus, right? Hold on, let's go back. We're gonna
Wait,
have
enlarge the screen and Control
Control.
Plus. We're having a lesson today for our audio audience.
Fuck,
That's
it's
why
not
you need to
working.
come check us out on YouTube.
Here's what we're
and
gonna
see
do.
what we're talking
I'm
about.
gonna take a snip. We're gonna do this real time.
Yeah, come check out the YouTube. You missed it live, but you can come check out the YouTube and see. We are going over frames per second, and we're getting a little
This is
visual
something.
here.
This is something I can still use my art degree for up to a certain point. So I'm gonna take a
I
snip.
lost
of
the
this.
tab. No, why did I lose the tab? Because I'm a loser.
Okay.
I'm a loser.
So hold on.
Where did your
zoom.
tab go? What the? Oh, there you go. Yeah, remember, look, we're going on a visual
Yeah.
experience here for our audio listeners.
Yeah, this is something
Come
I
check
and
out
Tori
the
laughing at me.
Check
This
out
is
that
something. This
YouTube.
is something.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
So you can see the roaches in the background.
So when it comes to DLSS and latency, nowadays it's become much more difficult to tell what the difference is, just like you said. But if you look at things like, God, I hate this stupid. Let me scroll left. Hold on. Let's do this. This is great content for our audio listeners. I'm so sorry, guys. This is why you should listen.
No, they got to come on over to the YouTube, baby. I'll keep you entertained until then. Hi.
I can't use my directional arrows to go left or right. Okay, it's making me draw. Can we stop that? Hold on. Where's the man XY?
You could just make it large, the whole screen.
No, it is. I have it full screen. I do.
Okay.
I'm just trying to drag myself
But I
to
mean,
the right.
you can see it right here on the right, bottom right, the scratches on the table.
But yes,
and
yeah.
then the
So
left.
areas like this, I'm just gonna draw on this real ugly, like my teachers used to do.
And you notice you don't realize this when you playing a game until
No,
it's not.
and this is why I said the average person will never see this stuff. Right? Look at this pillar here. Right? Look at this pillar. Extra renders. Look at this vertical line here. It's more render. You know, certain things like the straw. Look at the straw here, right? Look at this straw. Look at this cup. Look how much less detail it is there. The average person wouldn't see this.
No, your eyes. The thing is, your eyes are trained, and you don't notice it until it's not there.
Yeah, like even
It's
the
not something you go looking for.
even
But
the
then
top
when
of
you go back-
like reflective surfaces, like this can here. Look how much more reflective this is. Even more detail in the can itself. This is the type of stuff that I care about because I'm a nerd and I went to art school for this stuff, and it's just always interesting to me. So the average person will not care about this at all, like not even a little bit, and that's okay. But hold on, let me zoom back out. Gosh, I can't.
So when you look at someone, be like, "Are you in 120p K2?"
Yeah. So this was their presentation from like all the different versions of DLSS. I think this was DLS1, DLS2. This was like 3.5, and then this is supposed to be the latest DLS4. So yeah, I mean that's like the typical things like you would see in like the differences with all the So yeah, DLS off 2, 3, and 4. Which is, like I said, the average person is not going to give a single fuck about any of this when they're playing their favorite game. They're not. The average person isn't stopping in Cyberpunk and looking at the edges of, I mean, because even, I think another thing that you can look for in these type of videos is text, and how if you're moving your camera, the text will start to kind of blur. Or if there's like, light sources in the scene, like something the light source might be a little bit too bright. Yeah, see, like you'll notice it if you, like I said, if you know what you're looking for, you can kind of start to tell. But if you're just looking at the picture as a whole, like just a quick glance at all four of these, it looks relatively the same for the most part. So, yeah.
So this is what you're paying for, the big bucks.
Yeah, this is what you're paying for over here. This is why I thought this was kind of impressive, and I want to see real numbers from these. Besides these marketing videos that they give us, right? Like I need to see this in real time. And I mean, the latency stuff, just like BZ was talking about, DLSS does help slightly with that, but I'm gonna tell y'all like I heard it. If you're terrible at shooters, this isn't gonna help you. This isn't gonna help you. If you're getting shit on in Call of Duty, this isn't gonna change that. Okay, let's just be honest. It's not.
Let's save you some bucks.
Yeah, just save save a couple $100. Get the lower tier card, you'll be good to go. So. All right, let's talk about
pepper on your pistol ain't gonna help you.
It's not gonna help, man.
All right,
just because you got a faster car don't mean you know how to race. Okay. All right, let's talk about the Switch 2, man.
Inch or a mile.
Racing for pink slips.
Racing for
Xbox. BZ. I'm just
talk about this.
Just being honest, man. Just come on. Let's just be real. But yeah, let's talk about Switch 2, man. So we've gotten some leakage, man. It's been actually, I think the rumor started back in late December for the Switch 2. So at this point, they just need to let's just go ahead and see it, man. Just please let me see this, because this is out in the wild. We've seen quite a few renders and mock-ups for the Switch. That
looks sexy.
And I found this website yesterday. I think this is like a French site or something that actually loaded up, because they actually had accessories for it too on here, which are gone now. But I mean, at this point, like, come on, guys.
This looks legit, man.
This looks good. This has got to be the Switch 2 at this point, right?
If they did make that the Switch 2, they need to change it to this.
Yeah. I will say I'm disappointed in Nintendo for not calling it the Super Nintendo Switch. That was a miss. Like, you talking about free money right there? Like, it's right in front of your face, man.
I would have just dropped the Nintendo, the Super Switch.
The Super Switch 2 or something.
Give all of us young black children trauma. Never mind. That was a good joke in there somewhere. I'm just leave it on the cutting room floor.
Oh, man. Boop. Just do like a cut from that. All right. But, rumors is it's supposed to be a little bit larger. I think about the same width or thickness. Like, it's going to still be thin. But the main thing that I thought was pretty cool is like the Joy-Cons are magnetic now instead of sliding off. And that's the thing I'm probably the most excited about, because
as a Switch owner.
Yeah, I hate taking the Joy-Cons on and off the Switch. Like, it fucking sucks. So I'll just be honest. Like, it's not as easy as they make it seem. But, the rumor is this is supposed to be announced sometime this month with a March release date, which is very on brand for Nintendo. They do things at the, their own pace, and, they move to the beat of their own drum. And I honestly think this is going to end up outselling the PlayStation and Xbox this generation.
I don't think we get a March release.
I think the Switch 1 came out in March. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't think we get I'm saying not no to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is true.
It came out March 3rd.
I don't think we get a March release. Ivan, you are our international Nintendo man of mystery.
Yeah, it came out in 2017. But yeah, so I'm actually pretty excited for this. Like, I don't think
It's only been,
obviously
the
I'll be
Switch
getting
only been
one
out 7 years,
2017.
8. That's a good little run.
Yeah, it's been out for a very long time, and it outsold the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox by a lot. So like it eventually.
I'm gonna put this prediction out there. I think we see this holiday season.
You think they're gonna wait till holiday? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
I
ask you
think
this:
so.
are you finally gonna buy one? Is this gonna be the thing that makes you? Because I know you were looking for a Switch a few years ago.
Man, I got tired of looking for that Switch. Well, I mean, they everywhere now. Let's be real. But at the time that I was looking, it was kind of dark and grim. This was a while ago, mind you.
It was kind of during the pandemic.
It was kind of hard to find a Switch. This is when they first came out, or maybe it was about 4 or 5 months after they came out. Because I just wanted one because, honestly, it's just weird because I'm a weird kind of tech guy like that. I just love the design of the Switch. I think it's very cool. I think it's very innovative the way that they actually made this, work. Because a lot of people were skeptical after like the magnificent failure of the Wii U.
Oh God! They're one stain on their company history.
I wouldn't even call it a stain. I would just think that I like to give Nintendo props, man. They jump out the window, they try shit, and
That's
it
fair.
just, for whatever reason, it just didn't hit the mark. I don't know. When I look back on the games and stuff that the Wii U had, I kind of like, it's Nintendo. Like, I don't know where they went wrong. But
Yeah.
with the Switch 2, I'm definitely, I'm getting one. Like, there's no
100%.
just like try and then let it go. I am going to have a Switch 2. I am definitely buying it. I need it for my random trips around the world. I need it.
Yeah, and I mean,
It looks good.
this is why I said like I think mobile game is going to take off too, because you can kind of look at the Switch like a mobile console, and like I said, we're of course speaking on rumors and everything. This is rumored to be about as powerful as a PS4 and an Xbox One, which I think sounds about right for the Switch too, because that would give them the ability to have other third-party games on it. Xbox is already them and Nintendo have been kind of best friends the last couple of years. Xbox will release games every so often on it, and I could definitely see some of the more popular third party companies maybe looking at the Switch 2 to drop some games that came out already, like maybe Final Fantasy or personally I would love to see that. And they have some games already in development, like Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to come out this year. I'm actually very excited for Metroid Prime 4. I remember playing 1 and 2 on GameCube back in the day. Like, that's how long it has been since we've gotten a Metroid Prime game, which is pretty insane to even think about. But and there's rumors of another 3D Mario that's supposed to be coming out. And I think the last one that came out was Super Mario. Last 3D Mario game. We're gonna look at this up in real time. God, what was it? What was it called? No, it wasn't Super Mario Wonder.
Mario Wonder?
No, that was a two. You could say that was a 2D, like a side scroll. I'm talking about like in the same vein as Super Mario 64. It was the one where the hat had eyes on it. I can't think of the name of that one.
Oh God, the creepy hat.
I can't
Mario
remember.
Manhattan. No, that wasn't it.
Man.
Manhattan.
Super Mario Odyssey. Thank you. I resonate.
I thought they was in Manhattan. Never
Super Mario Odyssey, right? Yeah. When did that come out? It's been a long time since that came out. Yeah, it came out in 2017. So it kind of makes sense that we would probably get another Mario game, with the release, or at least in the same release year of the Switch 2. And I know you hate Mario. I like playing Mario games, man. They're fun. Like, they're, this would be enough to make me buy a Switch. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Outside of the Metroid games and a few others that I have had my eye on, like, I really do want to start putting more time into playing Nintendo games this year. And I mean,
Except Mario.
No, I'm playing Mario 100%. You know, I would love to see a new Mario Kart too. Like we haven't gotten a Mario Kart game. Like there's a bunch of games that they have not released sequels
No,
for
they're
in
just
a
gonna
long
use
time.
Mario Kart 8 Ultra with all the
Yeah,
maps,
it'll probably just
all
be
38,000 maps.
It'd be something like that, right? Like another subtitled Mario Kart
Mario
game.
8.2.
Right, something along those lines. That'd be cool.
New characters. You get them featuring Sonic.
Okay.
Mm.
That would be cool. But I mean, you know, they have apparently been preparing for this release for a while now. You know, stockpiling Switch 2s, you know, for the release whenever it comes out, either between March or the fall. I think it's gonna launch earlier in the year. I think it'd be cool if it did. You know, give people something to look forward to. Especially, I mean, they haven't really announced like a launch lineup for this year either. So we have no idea what Nintendo's doing at all. Like you know what I would love to see, and I know this, it's like people would be like, oh, there's two totally different game series. I would love to see Mario go up against Grand Theft Auto. I would, just my own selfish. Like you talking about two like gargantuan franchise.
Boots smoked.
He might. He just might. But I think it would be
that
interesting.
Plumber crack gonna get his boots smoked.
Like I would.
There ain't enough kids in the world to sell Mario to.
You know, and man, give us a working Pokemon game. Like, can we get a? Like, I'm gonna keep saying it. Y'all can keep lying to y'allselves. Let's, you know, you Pokemon fans out there.
Ass.
It was a terrible game. It was, and you're not gonna convince me otherwise. Like, give me a good working Pokemon game.
You know what was funny? That was a moment in time, bro.
It was.
When that game came out, to hear people lie and say that game was great.
A lot of people were mad at us too for saying otherwise. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Y'all stood by that big piece of hot boiling trash. Yeah, I'm on y'all ass, man. Yeah, because y'all talked a lot of shit.
Some people did not like our opinions on that, man.
They didn't like. Yeah, that was probably one of our most controversial episodes.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
Yeah, people were talking mad shit in my DMs, and I said, "Hey, you go play your Boo Boo 2.8 frames per second game, all right?"
Because I would, man, like it's just been such a long time since I've played a Pokemon game. Like, I wouldn't mind, you know, like.
No,
being a
you
kid
know what
again?
made me mad about that, Darius? I just thought about it. Because I said, this is what made me mad. Because I said that was going to be the Pokemon game my first Pokemon game.
Oh, yeah, you were thinking about buying it.
I was going to give it a try. Yeah, I was, because I've never played a Pokemon game before.
That was unfortunate. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I think this is going to do numbers. You know, I think this is the year they finally do release a new console. And it's gonna sell out no matter how many they have stocked up. I think it's just hopefully the bots don't get to it, right? Hopefully the bots.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Like hopefully they don't buy all of them and try to resell them. You know, like I could see this. I hope the price point is decent too. Like I wouldn't mind paying $400 for a Switch 2. I think that's a fair price.
Nah, not at all.
I think that's a pretty, you know, compared to, you know, the 500 floor for PlayStation, Xbox, I think 400 would do numbers for them actually. So I mean, let's see, upcoming Nintendo Switch games. I really am out of the loop when it comes to Nintendo, which is crazy.
Nintendo, you are my queen to be.
Yeah, like even a lot of these games I'm not really familiar with. Cause I know we have Metroid Prime 4 coming out, Donkey Kong Country Returns. Xenoblade Chronicles, I know a lot of people are excited for. That's a classic series. Pokemon Legends ZA, I have no idea if that's like, is this like a mainline game, chat? You guys will probably know, or is this more like one of those side games?
Well, let's ask our residential Nintendo correspondent.
Yeah. You would be willing to pay $500? That's a good question, guys. Let us know how much you would be willing to pay for a new Nintendo Switch console. It's a side game. Okay. So we probably won't get a mainline Pokemon game for another year or two, right?
Ooh, are we gonna get another Nook the Crook?
Oh yeah, another. Oh god, what was it called? What's the name of that game series? Holy shit! It starts with an H, right?
Hold on. Nook the Crook side story is right there on the screen.
Oh, where was it? Hold on. No, that's not it. Hold on.
Might have to go up a little bit.
Nook. Animal Crossing, Jesus Christ.
Animal Crossing 2.5.
Animal Crossing will do numbers. Like it. I mean, it's been a while since that one came out too. Like I just think they're poised to announce a lot this year that could be some big movers for them. Yeah. Cause I know my wife and our oldest kid played the hell out of Animal Crossing when it came out. Like they played
y'all was just
New Horizons.
Was taking all your money.
Yeah, he's a mafia boss, man. Nobody can convince me. Look at this guy, man. Look at his untrustworthy eyes. Like,
is it because he brown, bro?
Yes. I'm just kidding. Cut that out, guys. You don't clip that. Don't clip that. All right, we're done. We're done fucking around. This podcast get out
the couch crook.
Look at him, man. Like his little slanted eyes, man. His little fucking.
Look at him. He's high.
Man.
Oh no.
High off of stealing money. Look at this guy.
High off pot.
Yeah. You're hoping for like a 2025, more like 2026 for a main game. I could see that because when did what was the last Pokemon game that came out that was just awful? When did that come out? That's 2023 or 24.
2023. Ooh, they defended that shit for a whole year. Yuck.
Yeah, people were really mad about that.
No, they wasn't mad at us. They were mad at themselves inside. They just lashed out at us.
They didn't want to accept
Sometimes the truth pill, people don't want to swallow the truth pill, man.
Yeah.
Stand by your ugly bye.
Yeah. He's the okay. I can't read that I can't read that. Read what my wife said. I'm not reading that on stream. I'm not. Oh, on that note, guys. Woo!
Hey. Oh Lord.
Oh, on that note, I think that's a great time to end the podcast, man.
Greatest dance of all time. That boy is crazy, bro.
Yeah, we grooving.
Oh man. Lord Jesus.
It's good to be back, man. Thank you guys for hanging out, man, for episode 217.
Hey,
my God.
During pre-pod, we said we might kind of go off the rails.
Oh goodness, man. This is
out of control,
the type of year we having, I'm loving it, man. I'm here for it. Oh goodness. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, man, for the episode, for the podcast. We will be back next week. I know Xbox has a showcase coming up on the 23rd. So we'll probably just do predictions or something like next week. We'll figure something out. And then obviously the week after, we will talk about all their announcements, as they have been the last couple of years doing these January showcases and stuff. So I'm very, very excited to see what they have planned. Hopefully we'll get a PlayStation 1 soon. They kind of moved to the beat of their own drum as well. And then just like BZ mentioned earlier in the stream, we have Monster Hunter coming out in February. I know there's other games coming out in February. I'm just going to be honest.
But it don't matter.
I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Monster Hunter comes out at the end of February. And that's when I am going to be a happy guy. So I don't really have much, man. You guys can find us everywhere. The Super Weapon, you can find me everywhere. Twitch.tv/Darius the Artist. Darius the Artist everywhere else. On Twitter, Darius RC3. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube. I'm going to fix the YouTube streaming sometime this week so we can multi-stream over there as well to the official Super Weapon podcast YouTube, because we're going to try to focus on that a bit this year as well. But yeah, I'm just rambling a little bit, man. I ain't got too much else, man. DC, you got the floor.
Well, it's 2025, and yes, I'm still alive, and we're here, baby. We didn't go anywhere. We just took a little break, to reset the buttons. You feel me? Write down some New Year's resolutions. Get swole, mind, body, and soul. You hear me? You dig what I'm putting down? The rap master here to cause disaster. Well, not disaster. Speaking of, shout out to all my people and the firefighters over there on the west in California. That shit looks horrible. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. I saw some videos. I didn't think I would get emotional, but I kind of got a little sad. It looks bad, man. It just, so find a place to donate. There's a lot of places. Make sure that they are legit, of course. Just don't go throw your money around. But yeah, I just want to send my complete blessings to anyone that's going through that. I can only imagine, even the rich people. We tend to shit on the rich people and act like they're not human, but a house is a house, man. Your house is your home.
Everybody who acts isn't rich either, by the way. I've been here seeing a lot of that conversation. This is one I found to donate.
Your house is your home no matter who you are. Like, that has to suck to lose everything. Like, even though some of the material stuff can be replaced, some people have like just memories, pictures, photos, certain things that can't be replaced no matter how rich you are. So, my deepest condolences to people who've lost a lot of things. Luckily, as bad as the fires are, there was only minimal casualties. I wish it wasn't none, but I think it was only like five so
No,
far.
it's past 10 now. It's been climbing every day.
It's been, oh, see, that's sad. But shout out to the people, man, who's just the firefighters and stuff who have to fight that. Some of them been working like 48, 56 hour, like just straight nonstop.
Hmm.
But yeah, like besides that, we're freezing cold over here on the East Coast. It's burning on the West. The world is a wild place, man. Just love your loved ones. Give them high fives, hug them.
Please
Shout
do,
out to
man.
everybody that's in our chat, man. We love you guys. Thank you so much for just giving us a little piece of your day on a Saturday. And that's really all I have, my brother.
Thank you guys for hanging out, man. Like DC said, I put a donation link down in the Twitch chat. This was one I found a few days ago. That's a pretty good one, I've been told. The calfire.foundation/donations. If you guys feel so inclined to
We'll
donate to
we'll have
those.
more too
So,
in the description.
yes.
When we post the episode, we'll have more in the descriptions if you guys feel the need in your heart to
Yes.
donate.
So, yeah, man. That's all we got, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you guys are in chat, hang around. We're going to play some video games, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.